Good morning, my baby. Today, my topic is mixture of history and science. Do you know Victorian era in England history? Yes, it is one of the impressive era in British history, and a period of rapid change, amazing progress in the United Kingdom and the British Empire. It began with the accession of Queen Victoria to the throne in 1837 and ended with her death in 1901. The era was marked by significant advances in science, technology, industry, and the arts. If you have curiosity, you can feel atmosphere of Victorian era through many books. For example, Sherlock Holmes's One of Good Guidance to Know the Lifestyle of Victorian Era. Especially, BBC produced wonderful drama works, and we can obtain the high-quality information through these. The Victorian era was also a time of great social change and political change. The Industrial Revolution transformed Britain into a global economic powerhouse. So, superficially, it seems it is golden era of UK, and it misleads us to think the life of people was so happy in there. However, development of industry, economy, created unexpected catastrophe, poverty as well. These days, people live in London was suffering mysterious fear. People lost their good health, and suddenly die. Many that kind of terrible cases happened in, especially upper class of London people. In the first stage, people could not identify the reason of this sudden death. However, people also feel that this is due to their adverse environment. Indeed, the Thames was unbelievably polluted, and releasing toxic smell all the time. In fact, people live in nearby Thames was feel sick every day, and showing symptom such as fever, diarrhea, vomiting, and sudden die. Actually, Thames was sometimes source of cholera, and occasionally, pandemic happened to kill many people. However, it could not explain the reason why upper class people suddenly die in their home. Because some of the rich people was not living nearby Thames, and although off season of cholera pandemic, still die in their home. One scientist, Henry Leatherby, researched the case with scientific approach. Henry was a pioneer in the field of analytical chemistry and public health. He developed new methods for detecting adulteration in food and water. He was also a strong advocate for social reform, and he campaigned for better housing and education for the working class. He doubted that the case of sudden death of upper classes not related with pollution of Thames, and he started his comprehensive research to check out the situation. His knowledge with regard to chemical helped him, and eventually he discovered that the case is not due to pollution of Thames but the poisoning. Surprise! It is due to poison. He found that the house of upper class people is polluted by full of poison. What was this poison? It was arsenic. Arsenic is quite common substance as essential dietary element for some animals. Low levels of arsenic are found in many foods and water supplies. These levels are generally not considered to be harmful. However, arsenic poisoning occurs for human if quantities are larger than needed. In the history, arsenic was used for poisoning, and one of the famous case was Borgia family in Italy, they used arsenic for their method of assassination. Arsenic was easy to detect, and people called it as fool's poison, but anyway, it is true that once you read old detective story, you can see arsenic as common poison. Meanwhile, it was quite convenient substance for industrial use. Therefore, actually, these days, people was using arsenic for many purposes. One of the purposes was, they were using arsenic as color pigment. Arsenic achieved vivid, sharp green color, which human could not achieve before. Along with expansion of economy, people seek for more colorful life, and decorate their dress, wallpaper, with this brand new green color. Henry Leatherby associated this arsenic with sudden death case in London. But his action forced him to face too many difficulties to prove his hypothesis, because brand new green pigment created big movement in fashion industry, and industrial union tried to protect their vested interests. You can imagine, arsenic was already widely being used for many industry, such as textile, wallpaper, furniture, toys, art, flowers, and suddenly, some scientist complained, your commodities are toxic. How suppliers of these commodities can say, yes, I was wrong to use it. So, Henry Leatherby must be patient to pacify these people with evidence. He collected information from patients who suffering health problem. For example, one boy suffering serious skin irritation moved to rural area from his home in London. Then, just after few weeks, he fully recovered his good health. But, after he back to his home in London, he had to be in trouble by skin irritation again. Also, another patient, after they replaced new wallpaper, upon advice of Henry, immediately, they recovered from their symptom. Actually, terrible things was, people took arsenic to be beautiful, in the 19th century. Arsenic was a popular ingredient in beauty products, such as complexion wafers, face creams, and hair tonics. It was believed to whiten the skin, clear up blemishes, and promote hair growth. Arsenic face cream was advertised as magical beautifier that would whiten the skin, remove blemishes, and prevent wrinkles. Arsenic hair tonic was claimed to promote hair growth and prevent baldness. Of course, arsenic is a highly toxic substance, and even small amounts can be harmful. And even you don't eat, it can be penetrated into our body through skin. You may feel they are silly, but actually, we are more or less same. Nowadays, many girls are losing their good health by too much diet. Some are taking supplemental protein to grow their muscle up. Moreover, it is funny that there was no scientific evidence to support the claims that arsenic could improve beauty. In fact, the opposite was true. Arsenic could cause a variety of skin problems, including redness, swelling, and blistering. It could also lead to hair loss and other serious health problems. In 1879, Queen Victoria was visiting a dignitary who became ill with arsenic poisoning. It was discovered that the dignitary had been staying in a room with arsenic wallpaper. Queen Victoria was horrified by this news, and she immediately ordered to remove all arsenic wallpaper from Buckingham Palace. Queen Victoria's actions helped to raise awareness of the dangers of arsenic wallpaper. And it led to a decline in its use in the late 19th century. However, arsenic wallpaper continued to be used in some homes until the early 20th century. Nowadays, arsenic wallpaper is considered to be a health hazard, and it is no longer be used. I just introduced arsenic as example of chemical, which harmful for our health. But actually, still some dander toxic substances are in use, without knowing its risk. Let me introduce one interesting book to describe this risk. Silent Spring, by Rachel Carson. I highly recommend you to read this book when you are young. Anyway, still we are discovering what is true and what is not true in our life. In order to have a positive life for us, I mean, beginning of wisdom.
As the journey continues.